I'm Chief Troche. Welcome back to another super exciting edition of Chat with the Chief. I'm really excited to be talking about this project we have been working on for months, and it's technology and teamwork. Today I'm honored to be hanging out with some really important people from our community. I have Miss Deb Kabinoff here in front of me. Obviously no one can see what's going on because we're doing this on a podcast, but just to kind of give you the lay of the land, I have Miss Lucero Guzman, who's to my right, and I have Mr. Jeff Birnbach to my left. So what we're going to do is we're going to do ladies first, because we're gentlemen, right, Jeff?
We try.
That's right. And so we're going to start with Miss Kabinoff. Can you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
My career was in the software business. I would start, build up, and sell software companies. So I was always tuned into technology and the value of using computers and technology in new and exciting ways. I was fortunate and sold one of my companies when I was fairly young and retired here to Sarasota when I was about 42. I immediately was impressed with Sarasota's diversity and level of philanthropy. So I saw how many generous people were doing different projects and accomplishing great things in the city. So I was really impressed with that and knew I wanted to join that, take that opportunity here too. With my own philanthropy, because I made my money in my career using technology for corporations and helping them benefit, I wanted to go ahead and take that same technological advance and use it for not-for-profit organizations. So I like to specialize in projects that use technology to solve problems for not-for-profit groups. And that may be reaching out to a new community, doing better education, doing better communication, things that will take advantage of the emerging technology and let us communicate better.
Okay. And you see an opportunity here in Sarasota?
Absolutely. Here we have so many arts activities, and we also have educational activities. We have children who can benefit from STEM-type learning, and older people who can benefit from online information so they can get information in their homes where they may be more comfortable. So all across of all the age groups that we have here, I feel that they can benefit. When, Chief, when you started talking to me about a project that would help children learn better over the summer by using technology, that was something that I completely identified with, because many of us are familiar with that summer slide where the students who do well during the year, but then in the summer don't have the same educational opportunities, lose ground. And so the chance to do something to boost those kids, give them a tool to use over the summer, was right in the area where I thought that I could do some good.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that we met at the gala, and I just felt like God was putting us in the right place at the right time, and we just had a great conversation. And when I heard of what you were trying to accomplish and the method that you were trying to do it, I just thought that this would be a great opportunity to help some less than fortunate kids and give them an opportunity, as you said, to avoid the summer slide and implementing technology sooner than later.
Right.
Because we all know knowledge is power.
Right. And it was great for me. It was the first time that I had gotten involved with the Sarasota Police Foundation and was amazed at the wonderful work that organization was doing. And there at the gala, I had the honor of sitting next to you and then hearing about this project. And it was something that I knew I could help with.
No, that's great. And then since we kind of just went into that area, Jeff, just tell us a little bit about yourself and then what you're here to talk about with respect to the foundation.
I'm president of the Sarasota Police Foundation, which is really a 501c3. It's a nonprofit. Its whole purpose and reason for being is really to support the men and women of the department and support initiatives that make good sense to our community related to policing. I think we have a very strong police department. We have a great relationship with the department and the community. The community policing has been very strong. And when I heard about this initiative that Deb wanted to do, clearly the foundation was, ready to jump on it from the very start. It's exactly the things we try to embody and the things we try to foster in the community about building that relationship between officers, between the community, making it a better place for all of us. It's an investment in our future collectively, and it's the type of thing we really like to support and get behind.
I think what's really incredible about the Sarasota Police Foundation is that you're helping not just the police department and the officers with respect to officer wellness. I know we have a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu training that you all fund. And when we have officers in need, you step forward to assist the officers. But now you're taking this leap over where you're helping the community and you're being a conduit to help us help the community.
Yeah, I mean, it's a partnership. We know it all comes from all quarters, sometimes areas you least expect. I think that this particular initiative is really unique in that it has the potential to change kids' lives. And I don't be melodramatic about it, but it really does. It used to be a couple of years ago, if you have the internet, it was a luxury. Now it's a necessity. And if you don't have it, you're actually almost behind. So I think what Deb's initiative is doing is actually helping these kids catch up, stay up, and hopefully get ahead. And that's, I think, better for all of us, community-wise.
And for me, a key piece of this was doing it with the police department and the police foundation, because it gives us a chance to show these young children that the police are part of our community, an important part of our community. They're not the enemy, but they're our partners, our friends, our colleagues, and a key part of what we all need to stay safe.
No, and that's a great point. It gives us an opportunity to shine a light on officers are not just coming to these locations to put someone in jail or take someone away. We're actually here to help and help for their future. So Lucero, tell us a little bit about yourself and UnidosNow and their role.
UnidosNow is an organization that focuses on education, and the main reason why I think personally this is really important to the students that in the communities that this project will take place in is because a lot of them are Latino or Hispanic. I think the reason that partnerships are so important is because every organization or every entity or every individual involved can bring their own specialty to the table. And I think for UnidosNow, that can be that connection with families. A lot of them will trust us, and I don't take that lightly. I'm very lucky to be working with the organization. We focus on getting students to a post-secondary path. And for that reason, technology is vital for our programs. We have a lot of hybrid programming where if a student doesn't have access to a device, they have a hard time participating. And that doesn't just go for UnidosNow educational programs, but it goes for their schools as well. Back to the summer slide, a lot of students are accessing resources over the summer online, or accessing information of in-person events they can go to online. And if they don't have, again, access to those resources, they won't be able to get there.
It's a good point. And I think to your point, it's all about great collaboration, right? And we all have a platform. And so, and I don't know if we made this clear yet, but in discussion with Ms. Kabinoff, she was very humble to write a check so that we could give away 100 iPads to the children in 1500 North Orange Trailer Park. And so because she was able to do that, and we had contacts from assisting in the past, we were able to use our platform to help disseminate those. That'll be coming up here on May 20th at 11 a.m. At the trailer park. But then what we wanted to do, we also wanted to partner with great partners, and not just regular partners, great partners. So UnidosNow was more than willing to help us with people to come out there to assist with training, more communication, and then hopefully to assist those kids if they need assistance with respect to secondary schools, whether that be college, whether that be air conditioning, heating, just some type of secondary school so that they could move on in their future and have success. And I think the other component to this has been the Sarasota Police Foundation to assist us with that. It's been an amazing partnership, and to have you all as leaders with us in the community, I mean, we just couldn't ask for more. We really couldn't. Deb, can you just tell us a little bit more about your goals? I know you said that you want to do more down the road. You want to speak to that?
So this project embodies the best of what I have in mind to do with my own philanthropy. For one thing, we're helping children. In this case, it's a group of children whose parents perhaps don't speak English and maybe are not as able, and also are financially disadvantaged. So this will help the children get the devices they need and the knowledge that they need to continue learning over the summer. That's something that I'm always in favor of. Then the idea that we can help the children understand that police are an integral part of our community and they're helpful to all of us. That's something very important to me to get across to many people in our community, rather than thinking of police as the enemy or someone to be afraid of, to think of them as an ally. So that was the second thing. And then the third thing was the idea of using technology in the best possible way. And it is so essential to us now that we don't even think about it. We need to have a cell phone and we need to have a computer to learn. So this will provide that tool to children who otherwise might not have that. So in going forward, I look forward to doing more projects like this, bringing together partnerships, because how great is that? Here's a good example of not saying, this is my silo and I'm doing this by myself, but rather saying, how can we work together as a community to get the best possible result? I have loved working with the police department, so I look forward to doing many more projects with you all and the Police Foundation, because there's just no better organization that's integral to the safety of our community and the allowing our community to thrive. We need this resource very badly. So for me, this is the first step, and I see many more projects that we can be doing together.
That's great.
No, that's great. And you know what I love about everybody in this room is, and everyone in here is successful in their own area, but everyone in here does not have an ego. And I think that is really the key to success. When we talk about collaboration and true collaboration, if there are no egos in the room, we get so much more done, and it's so much easier. Jeff, can you tell us about the foundations and their goals, and then how people can become a member of the foundation?
Yeah, so the foundation is really intended to support policing at all levels. Both the men and women who are sworn, the staff, unsworn civilian personnel, but also the initiatives within the department. And we recognize that a strong police department makes for a strong local economy and a strong community. So we see it very much as a trickle-down impact. So we're always looking for people who want to, help us. We have 100% nonprofit. We have no employees. We don't spend $1 for anything other than a couple business cards. And short of that, 99 pennies of every dollar goes to the men and women and to the department and to the community. So to the extent anybody's interested in supporting our efforts, SarasotaPoliceFoundation.org. We're right there on the web. We have a couple events each year to raise money, raise awareness, and we invite anybody in the community to reach out and say hi to us, and we'll figure out how we can work with you to make you part of the greater good for all of us.
No, thank you. And then Lucero, UnidosNow. How can people help UnidosNow or reach out or donate?
The best way to reach us would be through our website, which is www.unidosnow.org, and that's spelled UNIDOSNOW.org. On there's information on donations, but also on getting involved, which for a nonprofit organization is probably the biggest thing that organizations want is people that are willing to work with you and volunteer their time. So there are opportunities to do that, from mentorship to working at outreach events, to even doing behind the scenes tasks on your computer. So monetary donations, time donations. And if someone listening is interested in getting connected to resources, there's also a tab on there that can get you contacted with the correct staff member for whatever age group you or your child are in.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. And I also like to say this too, that the City of Sarasota Police Department, we're involved in a lot of events. We do our Kids and Officers Promoting Solidarity, where we go to Robert L. Taylor Center and we interact with the kids after school, during spring break, during summer break. We sit down and break bread with the kids, and we think that's just really important. The officers show up in regular street clothes, and they have an opportunity to play basketball, play video games, and just chat. And we've had amazing feedback from that. We also do Books and Barbers, where we select a few barbershops throughout the city, and we essentially pay for all the haircuts right before they go to school. We have a saying, right? You want to look good and you want to feel good, right? But you got to look good to feel good, and so it's important to us. We also assist with backpacks, making sure the kids are going back to school with backpacks and supplies, so that they're prepared for school. So this is just something that we are continuing to build and grow on, and we're fortunate to meet Deb, who's just so generous in giving this type of donation in order to change not one life, but potentially 100 lives. And I even say after that, there's a multiplier for that, because yes, you're coming into the lives of these kids, but you're not only changing their lives, but you're changing their siblings' lives, you're changing their parents' lives, because they too could use the iPads to look for work, to learn English. There's just a lot of opportunity that can come with this, and it just proves that if you collaborate and you come together, we can get a lot done, and I really feel that we were able to accomplish that. So I believe we saw a problem. The solution is, hey, let's get these kids a little more education, let's get them access to technology, and then the benefit is, who knows? I mean, we could sit here all day and talk about the benefits, because the reality of it is there's no way we could even describe the potential benefits for all these families. And that's because of everyone in this room working together. All right, so let's talk about 1500 North Orange Trailer Park a little bit. So as a police officer many years ago, I remember going to a call for service there, and it was about the street within the trailer park being blocked off, and it was a quinceañera. So we all know how important that is in the Spanish community. And I remember walking through the park, and I just could not believe that a trailer park in the city of Sarasota was dilapidated to this point. And I got to meet some of the kids and the families, and they're so beautiful and so kind and so giving. And so right then and there is when I realized that one day, if I had an opportunity, that I would do everything I can to help people in this park. Because time and time again, after I would go in there, people are just so outgoing and friendly, and they're just very hardworking, and they're just trying to make a life for not only themselves, but their kids and their kids' kids. And so knowing that as the years have gone on, as I've moved up in rank, if we've had opportunity to go in there and help, we have. And so I was fortunate a few years ago to go in there and help with backpacks. And then we were able to get a barbershop in the area to assist with haircuts. And then I believe we were able to do backpacks again. And then not too long ago, we did sneakers for the kids. Because I think it goes back to, if you have pride in yourself, you're going to go to school with some pride. And so I think that's how my interest has really built up. And I know, Deb, I know you have a story too.
Right. I had also noticed that the trailer park, because the school bus would stop there in the morning, and what seemed like 100 children would come out to get on the school bus. And they were so darling. The parents were there with the children at the bus stop. The girls had their hair braided. The children all had unclean clothes. They all had their little backpacks and were obviously very well cared for. And the parents would help the kids on the bus. And it was a heartwarming scene of America, children and parents going to school. So at that time, I was motivated to bring books to the trailer park. And I would just go to Costco and get their spare boxes and fill them up with books and take them to the trailer park and just knock on one of the trailer doors and say, I have books for the children. And then kids would come out from everywhere. So it was very heartwarming to me, as you described, Chief, to see this neighborhood of young families just doing a good job of taking care of themselves and each other. And so it was remarkable that then you brought up this project to me about the kids in that trailer park who I was already familiar with.
It's amazing.
It was.
And then I know UnidosNow has been in there before, right, Lucero? What are you trying to do in there that you had done in the past? What had you done?
We had wanted to learn about the needs of the community, basically. And I can relate to what you were saying about being very touched by the families there. I think I had some of the most genuine conversations with some of the people there. I remember knocking on doors, hoping somebody would open the door, and the people that opened the door were very welcoming. They would introduce me to all of their kids, their pets. We would sit, I remember we sat outside their house, and the little girl was showing me her drawings, and she was telling me about what she wants to do when she grows up. They told me their life story about the suffering they'd gone through, but they were so optimistic. And I remember being it impacted me, how I didn't know this community existed. And I grew up in Sarasota, and that community is only minutes away from very affluent areas in downtown. And I had been there earlier that day. I specifically remember that. So seeing that transition was a shock to me because I didn't know it was there. And the people were so kind. My main goal for, being a part of this, and UnidosNow being a part of this, is for the iPads to be continued to use for education. And I know it was mentioned that maybe one of the children there will be a police officer or someone in law enforcement in the future. And I was thinking of something as simple as maybe they can check their grades now. Even people that have cell phones, they don't even know how to access their parent portal or their student portal. And a lot of the times that's the key for the parent being involved in the child's education for the first time. So maybe having this device, if they didn't have one before, could be the key to a student now having the support of their parent, or their parent finding out they're consistently not turning their homework in and they need to get involved. And I see that as a huge benefit for the children of that community.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. It's a game changer. Really, at the end of the day, it's another form of communication that's going to help advance these families. And we know, because I've seen it, when you put these iPads in the hand of a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, and then you fast forward it and you see them 4, 5, 6 years later, they are like Bill Gates on a computer. It's amazing. So here's an opportunity to change some lives, and I think we're really doing it. So I just want to say thank you all for coming. Do you want to say any last words before we close it out?
Hey, maybe one of the kids from this trailer park ends up becoming an officer to serve his own community. Be kind of a cool story, huh?
How amazing.
Yeah.
Maybe even the chief.
Possible.
What about the chief?
Maybe the chief.
Let's make that a chief. Though we're putting it in. Log it.
That's
time, this day, it's official. It's history. All right. Well, thanks for listening. If you haven't listened to the other podcasts, the Homeless Outreach Team, or the one about everyone's favorite in Sarasota, Traffic and Roundabouts, please go and listen on any of your favorite podcast channels. Sarasota, have a great day. And remember to live, love, work, play in our city, because we love it just as much as you do.